Good day, I'm Caroline Brown-Thompson and this is your JIS News for Monday, June 2. The Electricity Sector Enterprise Team ESET to manage the 381 megawatt project has been named. During his sectoral presentation, Energy Minister Philip Paulwell named Dr. Vincent Lawrence as chairman of the enterprise team. The Office of the Prime Minister has now announced that he's to be joined by Professor Alvin Wint, a member of the Coordinating Committee of the Partnership Council, former Director General of the OUR and energy consultant Winston Hay, and trade unionist Helene Davis-White. The two private sector appointees are businessman Joseph M. Matalan and William Mafood. The team will report to and advise the Prime Minister and Cabinet on procurement for the new electricity generating capacity. They are also to address the urgent replacement of base load generation with a more efficient plant that utilizes lower cost fuel and provides reliable and affordable electricity. Cabinet has committed to provide complete, transparent and regular updates to the country. Government has completed a wide-ranging compensation policy for the public service. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller made the announcement as she addressed the 95th Annual General Meeting of the Jamaica Civil Service Association last Thursday.
We decided we needed to develop an instrument that determines how we pay public sector workers for the work they do. Rest assured, then, that you'll be hearing more about this reclassification and the new regime when it is put in place.
She said the National Housing Trust and Ministry of Land were already being urged to consider the housing needs of public sector workers where feasible. Even as she assured public sector workers that government would be seeking to do all it can to enhance their welfare, Mrs. Simpson Miller stressed the importance of good customer service in the sector.
Every Jamaican citizen has a right to efficient and customer-friendly service from the public sector. Even in the midst of difficulties, we cannot afford to drop our hands. There's no room for inactivity and ineptness.
The Ministry of National Security is working on a plan to develop child-friendly institutions to house children who come in conflict with the law.
We want to identify a child-friendly facility to relocate the female juveniles from South Camp to something that looks more like a school or a home rather than a correctional facility. We're working, hopefully, the Minister of Education might be able to help us in that regard. But at this point, we haven't located anywhere, so we're wide open.
Minister Bunting was speaking at a mini expo at the Horizon Remand Center in Kingston as the Department of Correctional Services showcased items produced by inmates under its rehabilitation program. Government, in conjunction with the UK Prison Estate Consultants, is currently working on a 5-year plan to transform the Department of Correctional Services. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips says government remains committed to supporting and upgrading the Jamaica Defence Force as it is essential to nation building. Dr. Phillips says the JDF not only supports crime-fighting efforts but also assists in disaster management and the completion of other national projects.
The JDF performs a unique and indispensable role, not only as an ultimate line of defense against external threats, but as a vital repository of the critical values essential to building a successful nation. Values of courage, discipline, patriotism, devotion to duty, professionalism, integrity, honor, and commitment to excellence.
The Finance Minister was speaking at the annual Victoria Cross dinner hosted by the JDF. The event commemorates acts of bravery by Private Samuel Hodge and Sergeant William James Gordon, the first non-Europeans to be awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest award for bravery in the armed forces of the Commonwealth of Nations. The Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission, JADCO, has signed a 15-month joint initiative agreement with its Canadian counterpart to help improve its operations. The agreement was signed on May 15 with the Canadian Centre for Ethics in Sport, CCES, which has over 20 years of anti-doping expertise. The partnership with CCES is expected to enhance JADCO's capacity to implement its own anti-doping program and meet the requirements of the World Anti-Doping Code. JADCO will also get guidance and technical assistance in soon making the necessary adjustments to meet new requirements under the World Anti-Doping Code 2015 and the mandatory international standards that come into effect on January 1, 2015. And finally, the 2014 hurricane season has begun, and people who may find themselves in a shelter during the period are being reminded to bring their own supplies. The urging comes from the Acting Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, Richard Thompson.
Don't think that the shelter is a hotel. You need to take supplies to tie you over for roughly 2 days until the mechanism, the state mechanism chips in. Carry all your supplies to the shelter, your medical supplies. If you have babies, you ensure that you have their necessary stuff.
Forecasters expect a below normal hurricane season, predicting 8 to 13 tropical storms, with 3 to 6 of them becoming hurricanes. 1 or 2 of those could develop into major hurricanes. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Caroline Brown Thompson. Thanks for watching.